Evidence of God's power from a textbook. A revelation before the age of advanced science. Author, Basit Odiprabhawa. There they found a servant of ours, to whom we had granted mercy from us and enlightened with knowledge of our own. Moses said to him, "May I follow you, provided that you teach me some of the right guidance you have been taught." He said, "You certainly cannot be patient enough with me. And how can you be patient with what is beyond your realm of knowledge?" Al-Kahf 18 verse 65 to 68. Evidence of God's power from a textbook. By Basit Odiprabhawa is Mark CCO 1.0. Evidence of God's power. We will show them our signs in the universe and within themselves until it becomes clear to them that this Qur'an is the truth. Is it not enough that your Lord is a witness over all things? Fussilat 41 verse 53. The verses of the Qur'an, as revealed in Surah Fussilat, are a clear proof of truth, not only for us, but also for previous generations. This proof is not just general, it's also very specific, even predicting extraordinary historical events like the victory of the Romans. What we did not experience, the companions of the Prophet did. The Romans have been defeated in a nearby land. Yet following their defeat, they will triumph within 3 to 9 years. The whole matter rests with Allah before and after victory. And on that day the believers will rejoice at the victory willed by Allah. He gives victory to whoever He wills. For He is the Almighty, most merciful. Rum 30 verse 2 to 5. The war between two superpower empires, the Eastern Roman, known as Byzantine, and Persian, had reached its peak. From 611 to 623 CE, the Persian army gradually conquered Roman territories, seizing Syria, Palestine, Egypt, and Rhodes, and even managing to enter Anatolia. This defeat was a devastating blow to the Roman Empire, causing widespread despair. However, in the midst of the Roman defeat, an extraordinary revelation came down. In 625 CE, Surah Al-Rum, verses 2 to 5, was revealed. These verses made an unimaginable promise. The Romans have been defeated in the nearest land, but after their defeat, they will be victorious within a few years. This revelation seemed to defy the reality on the ground. The promise became a reality a few years later. In 627 CE, despite being outnumbered, the Roman forces managed to defeat the Persians in a decisive battle at Nineveh. This victory turned the tide. 2 years later, in 629 CE, the Persians were forced to retreat from all the territories they had conquered, restoring Roman glory. This event occurred just 3 years before the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, passed away in 630 CE, serving as one of the clear proofs of the truth of the Qur'an for the companions and subsequent generations. The story of the Roman victory shows how the Qur'an provides detailed guidance. However, it must be understood that the Qur'an's focus is not on technical scientific details, but on a broader message. Meanwhile, modern science is rapidly progressing with new discoveries. Scientific understanding has advanced remarkably since Eratosthenes' 3rd century BCE calculation of Earth's circumference, which aided early latitude determination. The Qur'an was revealed to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, incrementally over 23 years in the 7th century. While it contains verses that touch upon natural phenomena, creation, and the universe, it does not explicitly present information about mapping, the precise composition of matter like atomic theory, specific biological structures like cells or DNA, or detailed cosmic observations in the form of scientific formulas or systematic explanations. There are several verses in the Qur'an that are considered relevant to modern scientific discoveries. For example, descriptions of fetal development in the womb, the expansion of the universe, or the orbital movement of celestial bodies. Although these verses do not provide detailed scientific specifics, Scholars often see them as an indication that scientific truths discovered much later were alluded to in the Qur'an thousands of years ago. The 17th century saw pivotal inventions, like the compound microscope by Janssen, Galileo's initial telescopic observations of the Milky Way, Hooke's coining of cells, Leeuwenhoek's microscopic insights, and Picard's refined land mapping techniques. This pursuit of precision continued into the 18th century with Harrison's marine chronometers, revolutionizing oceanic longitude, and Bergman's early chemical systematization. The 19th century brought fundamental scientific shifts, including Dalton's atomic theory, Berzelius's chemical notation, the formalization of cell theory by Schwann and Schleiden, the initial recognition and naming of enzymes, and the discovery of chromosomes. The early 20th century featured Hubble's profound revelation of distant galaxies and the development of electron microscopes that greatly surpassed optical limits. Finally, the mid-20th century saw the groundbreaking discovery of DNA's double helix structure, culminating in the late 20th century with GPS providing unprecedented global precision in mapping. Thanks to inventions in optics, waves, and other technologies, our current experiences are profoundly different from those of the Prophet's companions, and even from our grandparents. However, the story is not over yet. A much more astonishing secret, which was not explicitly revealed, will soon be uncovered in the next chapter. Disclaimer: AI assists in material discovery, text composition, wording refinement, and translation. TTSmaker.com used to convert text to speech. Collaboration to the Earth's poles, inspired by online video on the same theme, that is copper and golden ratio, calculate with different calculation and perspective. The B, directly inspired by an online video. Science and the supernatural. Modern science operates on the principle of methodological naturalism, meaning it seeks to explain the universe through natural, observable, and testable phenomena. Supernatural concepts, by definition, exist outside of these natural laws. Therefore, a supernatural being like a genie, which can perform actions that defy the laws of physics, for example creating matter from nothing, instantaneous travel, or magic, is considered beyond the scope of scientific inquiry. It cannot be studied, measured, or proven using the scientific method. In the case of genie, there is no discussion about their essence or physical form, as they are supernatural beings. Instead, the focus is on their origin from a smokeless fire that is hotter than any fire on earth, as described in the Qur'an.